up everyone, hope you all are doing great and your NEET preparation is going really well. So today we will learn about morphology of flowering plants. As we have already posted our NEET 2025 self-study timetable, which is a weekly timetable, this chapters will come under your week 4. Okay, in week 4 we have included morphology of flowering plants, chemical bonding from chemistry and laws of motion from physics. Okay, so firstly we will start with our biology chapter. In this video I will be explaining from the basics. Okay, those who are learning this chapter for the first time, it will be very easy for you. Don't think that you don't know any specific terms. I will explain you everything from the basics. Also I have included some tricks in between. Okay, just to inform that I have already posted maximum of all the class 11 biology video, the tricks for them. Okay, many have even said that it is very useful, so I have given the link in the description for the playlist. You can go have a look, so you will get the complete tricks of any particular chapter you want. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started and have your NCERT book near to you. So firstly, morphology of flowering plants. What is morphology? Can anyone tell me? So morphology is nothing but your external appearance, right, which we can see with our eyes. Let's say in case of our human body, we can say our hands we can see, our legs we can see, our head we can see. So those all we will say as a morphology. So in case of plants, what are the things which are appear to us in the external? It is nothing but your root, stem, right? Let's say, can I say my human heart as a morphology? Will it come under morphology? Will we able to see with our eyes without splitting our body? No, it is not possible, right? So that will come under anatomy. Now you got the difference between morphology and anatomy first. So morphology is the dealing with the parts which are which comes as an external appearance. Okay, but in case of anatomy, it is dealing with the inside organs such as heart in case of human. Okay, we do have morphology and anatomy of flowering plants as a separate chapter, right? So in anatomy we will be dealing with those parts. Now you are clear with the morphology, right? So flowering plants, obviously flowering plants will comes under angiosperms, right? So where we got this angiosperm from? Personally, from the 5 kingdom classification, how R.H. Whitaker classified the system: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia, right? All this you should have covered in your biological classification itself. Now, within this Plantae, we do have further 5 classifications. Am I right? What are they? Algae, bryophyte, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm. So, whenever we say morphology of flowering plants will come under only your angiosperms, nothing else. Okay, so no confusions. Now, in case of algae, we call the structure as thalloid-like. What does it mean? It will be having only leaf-like, root-like structure. You don't have a definite structure. But in case of our angiospermae, these are well developed, right? Well developed as well as complex structure. So we have to study the whole morphology to get to know about angiospermae in detail. Okay. So now we are clear with what we are going to study. Now, so morphology, as I said, when you think about a simple plant, okay, what are the things you will recall? These all everyone will be know. First of all, we will say we can see the root. Then comes your stem part. Then in stem, what are we having? Leaf we have, buds we have, fruit we have, flower, everything, right? All these comes under your morphology, right? So what is this root? So in say we have a seed. In every seed there are 2 parts. Okay, the upper one will be calling as a plumule. The lower part is radicle. Okay. So from this lower part there comes your root. From lower part there comes your root. So radical, root, R. So you can easily remember, right? So if from radical root is coming, so from plumule what will be coming? Your shoot or your stem you can say. Okay, however it is easy for you. Clear? So in a seed, whenever we take a germinating seed, it will be having 2 parts. One is your radical, one is your plumule. From radical root is coming, from plumule stem is coming. Now we are going to deal with each and everything in detail. Okay, firstly we will cover about your root part. Okay, So in general, if you say root, what you can think of? Root is coming under the plant, okay? It is down, it will be under the soil, that you can say. Because of this root only, our plant, okay, it will be able to have a strong connection. It is able to attach to the ground very strongly, right? Because root is at the base on which your shoot will be growing, and so the root will be helpful to have a attachment, right? So this and all basically we will know. So now we will see what are the different types of root and what are its functions. Still now you are clear? If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment. So root, okay, so these are the external appearance of plant: root, stem, leaves, flowers and fruits. We talk now. So starting with root, we have three types of root basically. What are they? Your tap root, fibrous root and adventitious root. Okay, now what is your tap root? This tap root is usually seen in your dicot plants. What is dicot plants? So di means two, cot means cotyledons, right? So whenever we have two cotyledons, in case of your mustard, beans, okay, peas, these are called your dicot plants, as everyone know. So taproot will be mostly seen in which plants? Dicot plants. Now what does this taproot looks like? Let's say, as I said, no, this is a seed, this is plumule and this is radicle. From this radicle, one root will be appearing first, okay, which is called as your primary root directly from your radicle, right? See, from this primary root, we do have roots coming from the primary roots. Am I clear? See, this is radicle. From this radicle, directly one root will be coming, that is calling as our primary root. Then from primary root, we will be having roots coming out, which are called as your secondary root, then further tertiary root. So whenever we say tap root, this is how the roots will come, okay. So the primary root, secondary root, tertiary root together called as your tap root, okay. So what is a tap root? Whenever a root firstly comes from a radicle, that is called your primary root, and the secondary root will be formed from your primary root, okay. This whole setup is called as your tap root, and the example given in NCERT is mustard, okay. How can you remember? MD, okay. So MD, you can easily remember, managing director or master of doctorate, however you want to remember, you can remember with that, okay. So now we are clear with the taproot system. Now comes your fibrous root. Taproot is seen in your dicot, then fibrous root is seen in your monocot, okay. So how this monocot will occur? See, in monocot system, wherever the primary root is coming, right, this primary root will be short-lived, okay. This primary root will be short-lived. So short-lived means it won't be longer for much time. It will disappear, I can say. So once the roots disappear, you will be replaced by some other fibrous root. Are we clear? Let's say in case of taproot, the primary root will be there. In that only the secondary root are coming. But in case of fibrous root, this is opposite. Let's say this is a primary root. After some time, it will be disappeared, okay. Then this kind of fibrous root will be formed in your root system, okay. So this kind of root is called as your fibrous root, and the example for that will be wheat. This also you can easily remember. M, when you reverse it, W. So monocot wheat, right? Dicot mustard. Clear about your fibrous root? Then comes your adventitious root. What is the adventitious root? So whenever, let's say this is your plumule and this is your radicle, right? Whenever any root is formed apart from your radicle, apart from this part, okay, then those roots are called as your adventitious root. So an easy example, what is this? This is your famous banyan tree. So in this, you might have seen roots coming from this part. These are not underground or from the radicle, right? So these are the hanging roots, or we will call it as the prop roots. So if you see, these roots are not coming from your what? Radicle. So this kind of roots are called as your adventitious root. Now we are clear with our adventitious root also, right? So you can, with the picture itself, you can clearly say these are not coming from the radicle. These are hanging, right, from the shoot part. So these are called as your adventitious root. So Within root, what are the types of root we have? Taproot, fibrous root, and then adventitious root, right? So what is taproot? The primary root will be there. From primary root, secondary, tertiary roots are there. Together it is called as taproot. The example will be mustard. Now we will talk about monocot root. Fibrous root. What is fibrous root? In fibrous root, the primary one will be short-lived and it will be replaced by fibrous. The example is wheat. Now comes the third one, which is adventitious root. In adventitious root, the example we could say is the banyan tree, which is known by many people, right? So we could see these are hanging from the shoot part, not from the radicle. So this is the adventitious root. I hope you are clear with the root now, right? So this might be quite long video, but I just want to explain you in detail so that you no need to recall every time. Okay, now after seeing this video, once you read this topic, the root, from your NCERT, you will be able to cover all the 90%, but you have to once revise, so the 10% will also be covered. Now we will talk about the functions of the root. Without seeing that also, you can say the function of the root. So whenever I say function of the root, what is the initial functions you can say? Obviously, absorption of your H2O, water, right? Then we have already discussed support to the plant, right? Anchoraging. So it will be able to make the plant attached to the ground. Okay. So these are the basic. Let's say, so obviously your absorption of H2O will happen, and also minerals. Okay. The root will be absorbing the H2O and minerals from the soil and give it to the shoot part. Okay. Now anchorage. Anchorage is, as I said, so the root will be spread over the ground and will make the plant to stand even in case of harsh condition. Now storage. In some plants, the root will also function as the storing part, that it will store the needed minerals or food, whatever needed to the plants. Okay. Then PGR, nothing but your plant growth regulators. Okay. This we will talk about in plant development chapter, right? So some roots will will produce the hormones, which are your plant growth regulators also. So this is about the root, what is the types of root, and this is about the functions of the root. Okay, in the next topic we will see what are the modifications of root, and we will study the parts of root in detail. Thank you.